Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
Before we get started, I just want to let you know I am just getting over a little bit of a cold, so I might sneeze or have to blow my nose during the session, but just so you feel completely safe, I'm not contagious anymore, but I wanted you to know in case I have to interrupt. So, with that being said, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty stressed out.
Right. I can kind of tell by the way you're holding your body here, right? What's been going on?
Well, my sublet is about to end, and I've been looking for apartments, and they're so expensive. And I went to look for a few. I went and looked at 3 different ones, and they're all horrible, and they're like $800. And I don't know how I'm gonna make enough money to even be able to pay a deposit. So I don't know, if I can find another long-term sublet, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I went and talked to my boss to see if I could get more hours at work, and he totally jumped down my throat and was like, no, you can't have more hours, and threatened to take one of my shifts away even.
It's a lot to happen in 1 week. Yeah. The positive part of this is that it sounds like you really did an amazing job following through on everything that we talked about last week regarding looking for an apartment and talking to your boss. So both of those things got done, right?
I feel like I didn't get anything done. I get done with work, and I just feel like I just want to curl up in a ball. And it's just, it's really hard to get motivated. I mean, I have so much to do, and, I have to, I should probably find a better job. But, I even looked for a couple of jobs, but I didn't, there's so many people applying to all of them.
Right.
Even, the crappy coffee shop jobs. I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard to, motivate, It just feels really shitty.
Yeah.
And I just have no one to help me. I don't even have, it would be so much easier to go look at apartments if I just had, a friend that would come with me.
Right. So when you're feeling all that stress and all that anxiety that you're talking about, do you curl up in a little ball? Or how do you usually counteract that? How do you let off steam? Or
Sometimes I do, but then I went a few nights this week. I went out to a bar in my neighborhood and had some drinks and met some people, and that was really fun. Had a really good time, and I got to know a few people a little bit. People bought me drinks, and it was hard at first, especially the first night. I just felt really alone, and then I met people, and we had a good time. But then I went home, and it just I felt really disgusting and sick to my stomach. And it's just I don't know. And then it just makes me feel like I'm just back in that loop of how am I gonna get anything done? And then I feel like I'm all these different people. I'm totally bummed, and I can't get anything done. And then when I go out and I'm partying, it's pretty fun.
right.
I feel like a totally different person then. I feel like a normal person. Oh, this is what it's like to hang out with people. And it just really sucks to not have anyone, being in a new place, and the few friends that I had, just I don't even know what they think about me. They think whatever my stupid ex told them about me.
Right.
I'm sure he's bad-mouthing me.
Right. You said something 3 times a rule that I have in here. If I hear something 3 times, I like to point it out. You said that you feel like you're different people a lot. There's a lot of times that you feel like 1 minute you're out and you're partying and you're having a good time, and then you feel that kind of like ickiness and that disgust afterwards, or you feel really stressed when you're looking for jobs or an apartment. So there are all of these kind of different aspects of you that are coming out and operating, and that you feel like different people through the course of your day. Yeah, accurate. Right. I'd like to know more about that. I'm curious about what those different representations look like. I'm wondering if you would be open to engaging in a little bit of an arts activity with me, just so maybe we can get a clearer picture of what all of that looks like. Does that sound like something you'd be open to? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. There are a couple of ways we can do this, but I think one way that might be very interesting and also might be really useful for you after we leave the office, because I'm also very aware that, as part of the community mental health system, we have these 5 sessions together, and I want to make sure that you feel when we complete our work together that we haven't just talked about everything that you are going through, that you have some real tools that you can use outside of this room. I really want you to feel stable with that, and I'm very aware of it. So what I have here is I have some just simple cards, simple silver cards, and also markers. I have some tape underneath my seat as well. And then here I have some images. These are just images of different women expressing different things. And I'll let you go through them and ascertain for yourself kind of what emotions you think are being most displayed in these pictures. But you can just sort of leaf through them, see what's going on here, and take a minute to maybe just pick out 3 that you feel really speak to these different parts of yourself that emerge throughout the course of your day. And you can take your time. And then one more card that I'd like you to choose is any of these images that you feel you would like to feel during the course of your day that maybe you aren't feeling. That one? Okay. All right. That's good. We have 4 cards there, 4 images. So would you mind just going through the images for me, and we can do the one that you'd like to feel last, and telling me a little bit about what you see in the image and how you feel it relates to you.
Well, this one's that one is I just feel really hopeless and hopeless and sad.
And during the course of your day, is that something that you feel every day, consistently? Once or twice a week? 4 or 5 times a week?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
And generally, when you have that feeling, what's your response to that? And you can either tell me what your response to it is, you can show me in your body what the response looks like if there aren't really any words. You can make a sound that sounds like what that response sounds like.
It's just like what she's doing. It's just like.
Like you're giving yourself a hug. Almost. Yeah. That makes sense to me. What about the next one? It's actually it's an interesting image. What about it do you connect to?
Yeah, that one's just like, what the fuck? Like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
No idea. Like, I'm
Mhm. Right. Yeah. So, similar thing, during the course of your week, how often do you feel that feeling? Is it daily?
Like all the time.
All the time. Would you say that you feel that sense of what the fuck more often than you feel the sadness? Yeah.
Because that's the sense that makes me then just like give up and feel like sad and hopeless.
Right. So they're connected to each other. Right. And when you're feeling like that, again, in your body, with your voice, or with words, what does that generally look like?
It's just like everything's too much.
Right.
And, it's just like the picture of just like scratching my head, like.
Right. It's like trying to figure it out and also kind of being stressed
Yeah.
at the same
Like,
time.
it's just so big. And
Mm-hmm. Right. There's a sense of just it's a lot bigger than you. That makes sense. And then what about the next one?
that one's kind of like more carefree, like, like dressed up to go out and have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
And, kind of, like, it's kind of like putting on, my face.
Mm. Kind of like it's almost like a proper thing that you're doing here.
Yeah.
Like a very elegant.
I was like putting my face on.
Oh, right. Putting on your face.
Yeah.
And
It's like
then
my
you're ready.
femme armor.
I like how that sounds. Your femme armor with the pursed lips and putting on your face. I like that. How is that something that you feel daily as well? Do you think, or is that less frequent?
No, like only if I'm gonna go out.
Right.
Like once I'm out and like once I've gotten through the first part of like having the first drink alone and being like, oh, what if nobody talks to me?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then once I'm kind of like,
That makes sense. And the last one, this is the one that you wish was there during the course of your week that isn't necessarily.
she's just like the fierce warrior, like,
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
Right.
Like super confident and she's in control.
Mm-hmm.
She like knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like got her arrow and she's got her like really cool shield and she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Yeah. She's got this. Right. And then what sort of body posture or sounds do you feel like that takes up? You don't have to
More
stay in
like-
a chair.
Just more like,
Similar facial expression to the one before, to your femme armor. Similar type of thing, except for both your feet are on the ground this time. Yeah, because you uncrossed your legs. So it sounds like maybe those two are connected too, similarly to the way the first two were connected maybe. They look a little similar, right? Okay, that makes sense to me. So if you'd like, I have this tape here to go ahead and you can just connect those images to 4 of these cards. And just kind of tape them on the back of those cards. And then also in addition, if you'll pardon me again for having to sniff, you can feel free to use any of the colors that are here as well if you want to enhance any of the images. Add a little bit of color, I know they're black and white. Add a symbol on them that you feel really speaks to that particular archetype. And you can just take a couple minutes to do that. I'll open this up for you so they're at the ready. Just 2 minutes. I'm wondering if, you've spoken about when you go out to look for a job or look for an apartment, um, that you sometimes have that sense of wishing that you had something there for you, someone there for you, to go and get all these things done with you. And then also, too, that there are different points in your day where you feel each of these archetypes that you've pulled out, those archetypes of your femme armor, your sadness, and your confusion and anxiety. So, these are relatively small. I'm wondering if you think it would be helpful to kind of carry them around with you. And when you feel one of those emotions coming up, sometimes it's good to just name it and get it out in the space and have a totem with you to refer to. So if you're somewhere and you feel anxious and you feel wound up, take out your anxious card and look at it for a second and think about, how that looks, how that feels in your body, like we talked before, this and this hand movement. Maybe even do that to yourself in your car, or if you need to go to the bathroom and kind of look at it for a moment. And then also in those times when you need some strength and you need that sense of grounding, maybe take out that warrior that we looked at before, that sense of strength, the person that gets stuff done. And take a look at that photograph and think about, how that felt in your body to embody that when you had that strong pose and your lips were pursed in that way. And allow it to help you through those moments when you're feeling that sense of transition and possibly fear, and just have these to refer to in the course of the week. And next week we can talk about, how helpful you found it, if you found it helpful, and, in what ways it contributed to your week to name things in this way. Is that something that sounds like it would be helpful to you?
Should I bring them back next week?
Absolutely, I'd love to see them back. And also too, if at home you have markers or any way that you want to embellish these, think of them kind of like the Isabel Oracle. Like, these are the things that are in your life right now that are coming up. 3 cards that are everything that's going on for you, and 1 card of the things that you want to bring in and take in for yourself. And now you have these physical representations to remind you of that. Yeah? Okay. So next week we'll talk about how this worked for you during the course of the week, and we'll go from there. Okay? How are you feeling now at the end of the session? I know when you came in, the first word you said was stressed. So, that deep breath that you just took. You want to take a breath together? Ready? Feeling?
A little bit calmer.
A little calmer. Yeah. And it never has to be like 100% better. I'm never expecting you to leave this office during our sessions feeling like, yay, everything's perfect. But we're going to make it better through these sessions together and set you up in that way so that you feel stronger and on more solid ground. Okay? Okay, thank you. It's good to see you.